Did the Aeldari and Dark Age of Technology era humans exist together in war or peace? Or were there different periods moving between the two? Humanity at this time is at its scientific peak, with technology that makes what the Mechanicus use look like wooden swords against ray guns, and the Aeldari, free of their creators, and the war in heaven are also in ascension, two growing empires. So what were things like between them during what humanity calls the Dark Age of Technology? Let's begin. We learn from Azaman walking his dark road. They call themselves humans. Our peoples once shared the galaxy and relative peace until the storms sundered their empire. The webway held our civilization intact. Theirs splintered, but they will prosper from our falling. But, like in our world, whenever there is peace, there must be an exchange of words to start that kernel, that foundation. In the history of ancient terror, when there are these types of agreements between parties, an embassy is built where they can meet and share ideas. Were the Aeldari and humanity ever that close? In Genefather, Cole visits a planet called Pontus Avernus. He and his forces land, and in speaking to his companion Kvo, Cole says the planet's flora is from 7 different worlds, and they've formed their own ecosystem. They approach a pyramid where Cole wants to meet members of the Mechanicus, and he comments how, when he hacks into the systems of that place, that pyramid, that it proved difficult even for him, and that he has to resist dipping into the secrets there. And before then he sees, on the approach to the pyramid, that there are hidden energy fields which projected out and intersected with the other pyramids, and overlap and reinforce each other. These form the field that protects the place. But who could have built it? Cole and Kvo later speak about. Cole explains things. Of course, some suggest a certain amount of understanding between the old empires. I don't think this place is just a garden. I've always wanted to come here, you know. Always good to turn 2 screws with 1 driver. What is it then? Kvo inquires. This place, in your opinion? I believe it to be some sort of neutral ground, an embassy, said Cole. The readings I have taken, they're fairly standard, if highly advanced, cohesive proton waveforms, exactly as you'd expect. Kvo wouldn't have expected that, but kept his silence. There's a webway gate somewhere here, Cole said. Don't you see? Look at this place with your eyes, Kvo. Look at how it is laid out. Look at its location. It is dramatic, peaceful. A garden surrounded by stellar fire. It's unusual. We are a long way from the cause of both the old Terran and the ancient Aeldari realms. That is only supposition. There have been human colonies in this part of the galaxy for millennia, continued Cole. The Aeldari always were, more lightly spread, but they are everywhere even now. Imagine, we speak so often of the ancient days of the Dark Age of Technology and the might of the Empire of Old Earth. We also speak, you and I, of the Aeldari. We do? We do. We speak of how powerful they were, just like the people of Old Earth. These 2 empires may have existed at the same time. One wonders what their relations could have been like. Peaceful, belligerent, how might the Aeldari have viewed us? They, who had been masters of the stars for millions of years, when we came strutting onto the galactic scene. Would they patronize us? Help us? Were we a threat to them? Or they to us? And what about the other creatures who swarmed across the galaxy? Even in the days of the Rangdang Xenocides, there was not always war between sentients. Cole gave a long, satisfied sigh. History, my dear Kvo. It is fascinating. In those days, there must have been dealings between species. Think this place was made precisely for that. What manner of beings walked this world? What embassies were made? What secrets exchanged? If there's a webway gate here, I wonder what else they will find. Our questing brethren, as they dig down deeper, wonders, I'll wager. So some sort of embassy there for the Aeldari and Dark Age humans and other races as well. But what about war? I hear you say, this is 40k after all, where there is always war, in the end. So who did humanity fight during this period, the Dark Age? And what happens when they did fight the Aeldari. First, the stage is set. From Wrath and Glory. The records of this period are all but non-existent. It is believed that Xenos species, including Aeldari and Orcs, were first encountered during this period, along with others now thought to be extinct. Gaze to Veritas, and her hard eyes made him flinch, as if she saw something in his mind, and reflected it back upon him. The idea appeals to your vanity. You are correct in what you were saying, though, there. You are a tool to us. Our people ruled the stars when this world was ruled by reptiles. Many came against us, the soulless ones, the Necrons, the Krork, at the apex of their might, in comparison to which this latest folly is laughable. The Scythor and 1,000 other races, so terrible your intellects could not contemplate them. Even your own ancestors and their unliving legions, at the so-called height of their mastery, we defeated them all. So we know there was conflict of some type, and that the Aeldari on some level faced Dark Age of Technology humans, and their forces, the Men of Iron. Leriel continues, to you we seem a sorry remnant, a ragged glory fading into the void. But we are not yet extinct, Inquisitor. What is a few thousand cycles of weakness when set against millions of power? You fail yourselves. Your empire is a pathetic mockery of what your kind once had. Mark my words well. Unlike you, we shall be mighty once again. We would prefer it is there, out in the galaxy. We prefer that it is still there for us to rule when we are ready to return. We really see the might of the Aeldari from that excerpt before the fall on display, where we get the list of vanquished enemies and what humanity could have faced during, and also in additional lore in the 8th edition rulebook, we see who else the humans fought. For the rest of humanity, mankind spread across the stars, becoming widely dispersed and divergent. There is evidence of many wars, but none that threatened the stability of the human empire. The existing records list Xenos enemies long since extinct, along with more familiar names, such as Eldar and Orc. Interplanetary trade was established, and great fleets carried goods to and from the ends of the galaxy. As planets became overpopulated, the recently invented construction mediums of plasteel, plascrete, ferrocrete and rockcrete were used to build colossal cities, the proto-hives. So there are our answers. There was an Aeldari-built embassy for humanity and other races, and the Aeldari and others faced humanity when they had the Men of Iron. And humanity not only faced the Aeldari in that moment, but also the Orcs. What level of power the Orcs had at that time is not too clear. Could have been Krorks, could have been one of their lesser generations of their species, who just won't go away, the Orcs. No matter who's faced them, they always return. And if you like this video on the Dark Age of Technology, why don't you try this one as well?